So you say that it's all over when we never had a fight. Does it need to be all over? 'Cause I'm better at Fortnite. Can't believe you left, said it's a game. Thought our love was more than just play. Breaks my heart to see you walk away over victories where I slayed. Why'd you demonize your gamer guy just to say that I died? Thought you'd cheer me on, watch me build and fly. Now you throw in the towel, won't give us a try. Was it my high score that made you sigh? Did my headshots lead to our goodbye? You left me solo in this fight, all because I won at Fortnite. So you say that it's all over when we never had a fight. You never had a fight. Does it need to be all over? 'Cause I'm better at Fortnite. You couldn't handle me in the battle zone. Our love got sniped before it was full blown. In every game I was the king, you the pawn. Guess in this match I respawn alone. Maybe I should have lost, let you take the lead. Now my heart's got scars where your love should be. So you say that it's all over when we never had a fight. So does it need to be all over? 'Cause I'm better at Fortnite. So does it need to be all over? 'Cause I'm better at Fortnite. Just like our game, we can always go rank up. Now I'm solo, dropping in a silent world. No duo partner, no more game time, girl. My victory's hollow, my achievements ash. Wish I let you in, not be so brash. Was my final win worth this lonely night? Did I loot your heart, leaving us inspired?
It's time to play some stuff. Blah. What is up, everybody? This is Jay, aka Multimedia Jay, and I can't decide whether I want to use AI music or in-game music, because I want to try one of these chill stream things that some people do from time to time when they're completely shredded. How do you even do one of those? Like, should I do like the more relaxing music or something? Well, let's see how it goes. Yeah. Basically, I ruined my whole day. Almost had a heart attack at work. So, gotta do something low-key. Let's keep working on this stuff.
Who's that rolling by with a smile on his face? Why it looks like Judge Jim.
Let's have some cake. What else do we want to do with this castle? Let's see. Free event tickets, zippity-doo-dah. Oh, I have 8 of them. Let's go turn them in. Hey, I got a weekly endeavor done. How the hell do we get out of this place? I'm like, oh, I got this castle. Oh, there's the courtyard. Success. Title should say it all. Got a chill in the ESO tonight. This music might even be too upbeat. See, I think I have to go to the faction capitals. Let's see. Do I have to go to the faction capitals? No. Just go to an impresario, like over here. Impresario! Where are you?
What do you suppose they do for fun around here?
Keyboard's acting up.
Exotic. Jimmy, he's rolling. Can't stop, point A to point B. Always running. Stopping.
Okay. Can I make that thing yet? All right, what is this thing? What the? What does that even look like? The hell? All right, what do I need in order to make one of the advanced prizes?
Smell the sugar in the air, the honey, the...
Always running.
So I need 30 more tickets. We'll figure that out some other time. All right, so what is it like to do your writs in Skingrad? If I have a castle that sends me straight to Skingrad, can I get used to doing writs here instead of going to Leowin? See, the big fire thing in the east.
Fight for the Weald! Work for the brave of heart!
Assist the Legion and get paid.
Wrong way. It's the big fire thing on the map. How do you do dailies in Skingrad? I haven't hardly done anything with the Westweald expansion. This is old. Try something newer. All right. So that's that. Where do you get the other set of quests? Over there. Takes some getting used to. How much of a loop is it compared to... According to this, I don't... Oh, I have that stuff done already. Oh, I see. This isn't that bad. Let's do something up. We need materials and stuff. And this event has plenty of it. Probably the perfect thing to chill. Chill to.
Gone from summer and it's gone from what we've become. Your heart grows cold towards me as our love has come undone. Oh, you still say you love me and wanna be together still. But it's more than just the weather where I feel a little chill.
And I have everything, huh? Let's see.
Well, the leaves are turning colors, and our love is turning cold. Well, you made it clear I won't be the guy you're with when you grow old.
Let's see. How many writs do we have piling up in the bank? Oops. No. Don't take the quest. Oh, they should do writs in order to get more of those other things.
Our love is now quite dicey, and your heart is truly icy. Words just can't describe how you never feel fulfilled. There's not a man on this planet who you won't pretend to love and care. Not a soul you're right, see.
Whoa, my guy can make a torture table. I throw the rest in the bank.
Just say love is through. There's not a man I'm planning.
All right, which way back to the castle? Southwest exit. Southeast, excuse me. I think I'm gonna get rid of some of those Suno songs from the lineup.
Journey is a hard one.
You can never find what the heck you use this for. Let's just sell the door. It's probably a doorway I can make, but I don't feel like putting any extra doorways in this place. There's enough of them as it is.
How can I help you?
Oh, the leaves are finally falling like our love, but you keep calling. 'Cause somehow you think that we still have a chance. Yours is a love that I'll get over.
What am I going to do with all these Jubilee things? All these furnishings I'm carrying around. What the? No. That's not how it should go. $439 things in the bank. I keep running out of room because of Ritz. There's always something this guy can't seem to make. Oh, the light went out. All right. Yeah, so let's see. Well, what can I spruce this place up with? Well, there is no throne room, so let's do something with that throne room. Make it similar to the other ones. Not going to make much of a difference, though. First, let's make the conference room usable. By the way, this stream is a test for AV1 encoding at 10 grand. Haven't done that since I switched to fiber. So let's see how much better it looks. Yep, up the stairs and through the double doors. It sounds like directions in a school or something. Alright, if I put it up in... What? No. Back it up a notch. How much do we have to back these chairs up before people can sit in them? I don't feel like having this place just for... Oops. Escape! I don't feel like having this place just for show. Songs from last year's Intel problems. AMD just started to hint that they may have screwed up with those Ryzens that are cooking now. Well, there we go. Proper conference table. Well, the 9800X3D is a new chip design. Of course, there's going to be some issues. No excuse for that. This X3D thing, it was supposed to be an improvement over the previous one. Maybe it's not. I never liked the whole layout of the V-cache that they were using for him anyways. There we go. This is the distance we need. Just enough so that people can sit at the table. All right. Let's make this one match. Zoom way out. F5. Precision edit, baby. So what, 3 things away? Looks like it. Or maybe it's 2 things away. I think it's you have to back it up 2 things. Let's try putting it forward one more. Yep, 2 things back. Maybe 3 things so we can actually get out of the chair. Yeah, oh well. Back it up 2 things. Not the rug.
The rising PC that he's got. Oh, lady, I hear your raptor, they just died. You're blue screening all day long, despite everything you tried. Oh, lady,
Oh, I'm lifting it up instead of moving it back. Wrong button.
if you wanna keep gaming, just come over my way. Baby, you can totally ride my Ryzen rig all day. Oh, you can ride my Ryzen rig any day. Any day.
This should give us a usable table. And it doesn't.
Computer, it it's a hot mess.
The back row is wrong. Nope.
I'm stuck in the past, can't upgrade no more. It's like a heartbreak slam.
Something's not right.
Oh, yeah. My girlfriend left me, took my heart and flew away. I guess she couldn't handle my cowboy ways.
It's one of the newer ones. That's why it sounds better.
In my old truck,
I wonder if it's because it's too low.
it broke down to running out of love.
Nope, that's not it.
It's a bumpy ride, life's been kicking me down. My Delosaurus ain't running, my girl's not around. Now
Still not enough.
truck's broken, it's a
There's something not right. I think the vertical might be off. These chairs aren't lined up.
Windows 11 really put my Delosaurus in its place. With all those gosh darn things,
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we got to back him out a little more. All right, back him out a bit more then.
Windows need a coffee lake and TPM. I swear this computer makes me wanna go drinking again. It's a bumpy ride, life's been kicking me down. My Delosaurus ain't running, my girl's not around. Now my pickup truck's broken, it's a crying shame. But I'll keep on trucking, find a way to spin this game.
So how come only one of these is sittable? Check the verticals.
With all those gosh darn things Microsoft put all over the place.
I think they might be...
Why does Windows need a
Drop him down one. Sink him into the floor.
I swear this computer makes
That's still not it. I seriously might have to pick these things up and put them back down. Two thingies up in the air. Supposed to be snapping in place. Friggin' chairs.
This crap is really making me panic, makes me sorry I got into computers when my daddy wanted me to be a diesel mechanic. Oh, it's a bumpy ride, life's been kicking me down.
I don't get it. There's something that's off.
Delosaurus ain't running, my girl's not around now.
Try backing him up one more thing.
It's a crying shame, but I'll keep on trucking, find a way to spin this game. Find a way to spin this game.
The chairs aren't broken. They are just misplaced by default.
If I could
So,
get a
let's see.
girlfriend again, maybe I'd be happy again post haste. But my Delosaurus is a mess like too much thermal paste. Now my ex is texting me like I'm a useless country.
All right, heck with it. Sit here fiddling with chairs all day. Not the most important thing. So let's see. What if... There's probably an invisible wall. So I want to go back to the beginning.
A revolution per minute.
Yeah, there's an invisible wall. So no, like, jumping out of the castle in order to respawn with a death penalty. Oh, you learn something new every day.
They power my ambition, my task split and aligned in parallel dimensions.
All right.
My threads are intertwined all.
What can I make? Well, no. You know what we need? We need more crafting stations at these castles. For that, we got to empty out the Ritz in the bank. Somehow I got this feeling that I added too many doors to this castle, and now it's too much of a maze. You know what we need? Exit signs. What can I use for, like, what kind of floaty red things can I use to indicate which way the exit is? What do I have? How about a red light or something? Yeah, put some fires in there.
Tabs on tabs, they open wide.
Huh.
Running parallel side by side. Graphics smooth, my load times fade. A symphony of speed, this power cascade. Overclock the beat, feel the tempo rush. Every core's a drummer, hear the techno crush. When you boot up Intel or AMD means nothing to me. Let the CPU cores roar and let it be.
This is the sort of synthwave I want to make. Synthwave mixed with a guitar solo. I haven't been having much luck with audio lately with this type of stuff. Let's go to more familiar locales. Leo in.
Looking to lighten your load.
Yeah, I want to make a bunch of stuff. I want all those writs.
He left his laptop under her watch.
Nope. Nope.
In our world today, sometimes you just need a self-built computer. Along comes Mountaineer, the OJ.
Multimedia OJ.
YouTube
The AI struggles with that word, doesn't it?
and all the work is done, and it's time to dispense with the fluff.
The Cornelli remix, because some of this reminds me of Chris Cornell.
Body go grab your seat.
Rest in peace.
Time to play some stuff. In a world that likes to hit you with every kind of fluff. Oh, it's time to relax. Yeah, it's time to play stuff. In a world where all you got sometimes ain't enough. Oh, it's time to relax.
Let's start with the Smithy writs, as well as all the remaining treasure map and other things that I've had sitting around. I just cleaned them out, but I got one more.
In the late 80s with an Atari 7800 when Jay was only 6. After multiple Nintendo consoles, PCs are now how Jay gets his gaming kicks.
Oh, this one was never done up right. It's a Suno song, but it's not identifying, the metadata is not identifying correctly. Gotta fix that. Suno version 4. Does kind of sound like Suno a bit. Blackwood. We're right there. Let's go grab some jewels. It's right over there.
Whether a console, PC, or mobile, if it's a game There's a lot of things you can game on in a technological day. So when life just gets you down and our world gets rather rough, oh, let's flip our stress the bird. Oh yeah, it's time to play some
Uh-oh. And stay over there. Whatever.
world that likes to hit you with every kind of fluff. Oh, it's time to relax, yeah, it's time to play stuff. In a world where all you got sometimes ain't enough. Oh, it's time to relax, yeah, it's time to play some stuff.
Weeks daughter is no match for the king.
Not bad considering no food buff.
Dare invade the domain of Mehrunes Dagon?
Yeah, shove it up your ass.
Oh man, I can't believe that I totally got the feels for pretty girls who tour around in egg-shaped nerd mobiles. Oh, what is coming over me with this girl I wanna meet? I'd have to hold my breath to make it into her passenger seat.
Oh, hi, sorcerer. Why do you have freaking Daedra where your pets look like the enemy? I'm guessing he's taking out the mini boss.
Dirty cars, good for the
If he is, he's running the wrong way. Or not.
You've met your match.
Oh, the sorcerer finally found out he's running the wrong way. Howdy. Let's take out some Daedra.
Why don't you just die already?
Or maybe take her on a date. Oh, Prius girl, please don't be taken. I just pray I'm not too late.
That was the boss. A boss. I think there's one more spot. I think there's one more part of this.
I think I'm falling
See, is this the right way?
for the pretty girl in
Gotta find the sigil like in Oblivion to get out of here. I see a big demon-looking thing. Maybe.
Nobody's going to believe this story.
I'm in love with the pretty girl in the Prius.
You can't stop the flood.
There it is.
I want to crush you personally.
I shall stitch your sense regards.
Where is he?
The mortals, take them down!
Alright, where's this guy hiding?
Men, we fight.
Alright, where's his goons? We gotta kill them next. Somebody's dead. Who is it? Isabel. Stun, 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 stun. Oh, that wasn't Isabel. Alright, we'll fix this. Dumbass, get back here.
Give us some warrior stands ready to fight the prince. Try to run. Just try.
Generations not lazy, the world you left us keep our wish I'm trying to survive.
Yes, this is a millennial protest song. And proud of it. She's dead again. Ah. Yeah, that's right, Sorcerer. Give him the Force Lightning. My guy does that. Where's Isabel? Okay, that was a nice little romp through Oblivion. this north, south, east, west compass thing. Someone throw a... Must be an add-on.
Try to do things your way, and I just found pain and strife.
The map is bugged. Oh well. All right, what exactly am I here for? Jewelry crafting, so platinum.
Good quality there.
Good. Could use some of that. Always be careful what you joke about on the internet. So somebody posted something on X, and that was what inspired this song.
Here we go.
You know the country song about the guy whose girlfriend likes his Toyota? Remember that one? Me neither.
She may be on T-Mobile. If she loves a Nissan Tide, maybe she should stick to a small car. She may like your photo Chevy, but my babe really loves the Thunder. Keep your F-150, buddy. My girl loves a Tacoma Thunder. Oh, what a man I am to have this kind of love. My girlfriend loves me and she loves my pickup truck. We'll make love from here all the way to Minnesota, 'cause my girl really, really digs my Toyota.
I've got Yes?
Maybe your girl loves to ride around, or she digs a Silverado. My girl thinks Super Dude is kinda big, and she ain't riding a Colorado. Maybe your girl loves to line the pockets of the folks at GMC. My girl loves
Okay, bottoms up. What kind of stuff do you have to make to free up all this bank space? It's got to be turned into the faction capital, though. So let's go to Stormhaven. I picked the wrong state. Alright, let's go.
We'll make love from here all the way to Minnesota,
'Cause my girl really, really digs my Toyota. I can't even sing that with a straight face.
You said my Toyota, I ain't country, but you don't know what you're talking about. The Toyotas are built in Texas, so you can shut your little mouth.
Where's the blacksmithing station? Haven't done stuff out here in a while. I do too much stuff in my castles. And I'm just going to get rid of them if I can't do them. See what we got here. There's an add-on we need that'll make this way easier.
That have this kind of love. My girlfriend loves me and
She loves my pickup truck.
We'll make love for
All right, let's open up Minion. Ooh, it's Charlie Chaplin's birthday.
girl really, really digs my Toyota.
ESO. Ah, it's not doing it.
Yeah, my girl really, really digs my Toyota.
Wait, do I still have Writworthy here? Oh boy. Another song that's kind of dated. Now that Ryzens are the ones that are melting.
Crashing like a raptor lake.
Song still has screwed up lyrics. I just kept it because it sounds good.
Yeah, our love is a little unstable when it gets a little hot. I don't think you can truly answer whether you love me or love me not. I see the second thoughts in your eyes when you're game with me.
Okay. It has no dependency. Lib price, lib sets, and lib character knowledge.
Game and be.
Shall we continue?
Girl, I ain't cheating on you just because I switched to AMD. I just prefer to have an actual functioning gaming PC. But you just pout at me like
Okay,
I'm so
reload.
slow.
That should do it for the add-ons. It's hot swappable in ESO, just like in WoW.
If you wanna go. Our love is crashing like a raptor lake. Crashing like a raptor lake. Filling my life with heartache.
Woo! We're gonna get scraped. There we go.
Our love is crashing like a raptor lake.
All right, let's see this thing work.
For moving on.
Tells you what you don't know yet. How many of these can I knock out?
Girl, I switched to a rising and I'm not looking back.
If I'm missing, if I'm missing a motif, I can't do it.
I'm not blaming my motherboard for the disdain I see from you. Does it really have to end here? Are we really through? Our love is crashing like a raptor lake. Crashing like a raptor lake. Filling my life with heartache. Crashing like a raptor lake. Our love is crashing like
That
a
doesn't work.
raptor lake. And it's time for moving on.
Rubedite Mall, epic powered Song of LeMay, Imperial style. Oh no, we actually have to go out to the actual crafting station, not make one here. That's the part I was missing. Okay, this is going to be tedious. Probably not worth it.
Crashing like a raptor lake.
Gee, I wonder why I always left these things piling up in my bank.
My new PC made our romance quake.
Whee!
My rising made you walk out that door. But you'll never see me gaming Intel anymore. Our love is crashing like a
Oh,
raptor
that helps.
lake. Crashing like a raptor lake. Filling my life with heartache. Crashing like a raptor lake. Our love is crashing like a raptor lake. And it's time for moving on.
Another find for your pack. Stendarr, protect us from harm.
Our love is crashing like a raptor lake. My rising made your little heart break. You can't stand the rising in my gaming PC. Girl, you're just too high maintenance for a gamer like me. I'm standing by the grill, the sun beating down.
Nah. Epic powered Song of LeMay Imperial. Well, here's that part of it. Oh, it does it automatically. Sweet. I love the Lazy Man's add-on.
Got a root beer float from the corner store. And we're riding our bikes till the sun ain't shining no more. When the lights come on, it's the end of our fun. 'Cause we don't want mom yelling at the top of her lungs. We're just staying alive down on Kenilworth Drive. Yeah,
You ready to drop the goods
staying alive down on Kenilworth Drive.
A Colombian wine press. Yeah, I'll make my own winery. What, we can make targets now? Yeah, this is what I want. I want a target Centurion.
While old lady Mildred counts all her mason jars. Norma saw a movie pretending she was her brother's date. And Mom gave us a hard time for staying up too late. We're just staying alive down on Kenilworth Drive. Yeah, staying alive.
Helmel's Helm.
Down on
Skin changer. Invigorating.
Oh, let's go have some burgers at the diner right down the street. Let's go play some football in the field right next door to Hope Beach. Wave high the old Louis Woods, mixing stuff in town all over the place. Let's count the stars in my yard and dream of flying around. I'm just an old Jersey boy thinking back to the good old days. As I look at our world and the ways that it's changed its ways, things were simpler, happier, and man, was it quite a time? And I tell you, my heart is still somewhere on Kenilworth Drive. Yeah, we were staying alive down on Kenilworth Drive. It was the greatest of times,
Right up there.
greatest of times, down on Kenilworth Drive. Yeah.
Huh. You know what? We should just go to the bank and swap out for everything that we can't. Yeah, I'll just swap out for everything that we can build. Just free up the space that way. This will give us all those. Not the cathedral.
Woke up this morning. My heart
Cat on the button. Just dump these Suno songs.
Do you think there's a sweet shop around here? Let's take a look.
Come to deliver our little private.
Yeah, let's swap a few. The bank is right there, so we can swap a few things.
It hit the floor hard. Play to win now. It's too late. I'm too plugged in.
This is my first studio song about the rise and fall of the Sega Dreamcast.
Cartridges, discs, it's a war front. Tech advances faster rate.
Welcome to the Bank of Wayland.
Graphics leap and sound surround us. Old school charm crushed by state. It's a game over for the underdog. PlayStation's reign came on strong. Plays came on strong.
So many of these things I don't know. It's all I can clean out of this. Let's try some of the other writs. I think the add-on should tell me whether I can do them or not. Let's see here.
The duel was fierce in the console fight. Dreamcast all it took to flight. Sony's shadow looming large crushed the hope of Sega's charge. Adapters, cables sprawl across the floor. It's a high-def world, can't compete no more.
Oh, crap. Close, 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 close.
Now it's history, written in the books, the triumphs and falls of tech tycoon crooks. Memories echo in pixels and code of a battle that raged on the digital road.
I think all the enchantments will work.
Broken controllers in the dust they lay. As the blue disc spins, Sega fades away.
Yeah, like half of this stuff I don't have the stuff for.
Gaming's crown shifted hands under the blue lights, new commands. Blinking screens, power on, but the dawn of Dreamcast now long gone. I'm a tech cowboy.
Boo.
With a heart.
Thank you for watching today's show. Please no.
I could go to the
C. There you go.
I was stuck with regular Nintendo. I was stuck with regular Nintendo. It was 1992. My friend had Super Mario World to play through. It was so much better. I knew it was so much more. Mario even rode on the back of a dinosaur. But I was stuck at home replaying Mario 3. Super Nintendo wasn't what my parents wanted to get me.
Well,
Mom and Dad asked what was better. I said it was 16-bit.
trading here.
But when they pressed me for details, I couldn't
keep me
explain
safe.
one bit.
And my coins in my purse.
So now I'm sitting here with
Let's go look at the old castle for a bit. For the alchemy or with the ones that are easy.
I guess I'll have to make
That was stupid. I can do those in town.
Nintendo.
What a stupid idea.
Oh, I was stuck with regular
I specifically have crafting stations at Gardner House for that specific purpose.
Super straight out from the
Whatever.
regular Nintendo, regular Nintendo. Super Nintendo was totally the shiznit. I had to work for Mom and Dad to finally buy it. Oh, I was stuck with regular Nintendo, regular Nintendo, regular Nintendo. Well, my friends got the new Zelda, Castlevania, Mario Kart, and all these pretty games that look like works of art. Whoa. Well, I ground up the remainder of Nintendo games, landing in the discount bin. I knew somehow I had to get Mom and Dad to finally give in. I had my zapper, their super scope was a bazooka. My cheapy parents made me want to puke. Pilot Twinks and F-Zero remake games I never played. As I wondered what it takes to get my parents into this decade. Oh, I was stuck with regular Nintendo, regular Nintendo, regular Nintendo. Couldn't go super straight out from the get-go. Regular Nintendo, regular Nintendo. Super Nintendo was totally the shiznit. I had to work for Mom and Dad to finally buy it.
If I have to wait
It's with you. I can feel it.
Oh, I was stuck with regular Nintendo, regular Nintendo, regular Nintendo. parents finally would get me a Super Nintendo. But I wasn't out of the woods yet. Dropped down to my knees and prayed to get me a super set. A super set.
So I keep an alchemy and an enchanting station at this house specifically. Where'd the enchant station go? I think I took the enchant station for something else. Oops. Cooking station, too. Let's go buy an enchant station. Definitely have the writs for it.
About time.
Now let's plunk one down.
2 years to get a Super Nintendo and play along with my friends. And even now when I'm older, I reminisce the fun we had back then. But I haven't forgot my roots when I was stuck being 8-bit against my will. It made me appreciate my Super Nintendo all the more ever still. Oh, I would stop with regular Nintendo. Couldn't go Super
Wish I could just carry these. Just plunk one down and make a whole bunch of writs.
Super Nintendo was totally the
Can't do it except in player housing now.
for mom and dad's a funny bias. I was stuck with regular Nintendo. Regular Nintendo. Regular Nintendo.
Sitting here alone.
Well, I woke up one morning.
Lived in solitude.
Well, down yonder.
In every quest, you're my shining North Star. A revolution per
Well, let's see. What do we have here? Yeah, I should probably take the writ first before trying to craft something I don't have a quest for. Now, where was I?
You can say your city really rocks, but your RG lighting really sucks. It's a light show when you try to play. How do you stay focused on your game all damn day? Your computer's a distraction.
I bet I can bang the dents for my armor.
I really have to ask,
The artisan arrived.
and I say, ooh,
Okay, this is boring. Look at all the stuff I have to go through.
computers have too many.
And this is why I never have any bank space.
Oh, I just want
Whoops.
on a black box.
All right.
I don't need
Greetings.
my PC to light up the night. My hardware is why my computer rocks. You think you really need 3 rainbow fans or be an RGB lightning stand? How does the brightness of your PC add more frames?
Maybe I shouldn't have pushed all of these at once.
It's a colossal waste, adding lights all over the place. How about focusing on what actually helps you play? Yeah! And I say, computers have too many lights. Oh, I just want a game on a black
All right, why don't we go hunt some dragons or something? Nothing better to do.
My PC to light up the night. My hardware is why my computer rocks.
There's something. All right,
Lighting is
we gotta go up and over.
cosmetic fluff.
Yeah! Yeah!
You can keep your PC whose lights can be seen from space. I'd rather
There he
spend
is.
my money on what really gives me frames. Say my PC's lame. Say my PC's plain. My PC does what matters all damn day.
What's this, another one-person wonder? Typical dragon fight. Oh, it is just one person kiting everything. Never mind. Oh, wow, 2 people. Yeah. It's your repair bill. So much for that idea.
Nomadic life can be.
Yeah, nobody's fighting the dragon now because everybody's dead. Friggin' tryhards.
I got trails to unload if they gonna fill up the room. I get to trying to unload, then suddenly I hear a big boom. He got a smile on his face, so maybe it's just a silly grin. Oh, Timmy got pokey, unloading stuff from the trailers again. Oh, hey there, Timmy, look here if you please. A big metal trailer ain't supposed to look like Swiss cheese. Why don't you take
Anyone do anything better here?
things don't go right? Oh, inside the horn going on highway for love.
Someone just killed a dragon here. There's actually someone being successful. Good. See how many are going after that other one. How have I not discovered that eyeball thing there? Or did I not do a quest? Whoa. I really haven't. What the? Let's find the other thing, too. Psychic thingy. Psychic thingy. There's the dragon. Anyone fighting him? Maybe I should actually do the quests over here instead of running around discovering everything. dragon has been engaged. Shortcut? Probably not.
You got trainers doing over stuff going all over the place.
The answer is no. Find the freaking bridge.
I left your trainers to school, we found the right joker. Jimmy the trainer,
Finally, a decent chunk of people.
in a small town.
You're paying next time we stop for a meal.
Alright, how is this a chill stream anymore if I'm playing metalcore?
Looking forward to seeing what you make of that.
Alright. So what happened? So I almost gave myself a heart attack at work. Driving the biggest truck in the building. 20,000-pound turret. Problem is, the way the controls work, it slows down roughly the same speed it speeds up. I was driving driving a different one. Usually I've been driving the fastest one all week. Today I drove the second fastest, which also means it was the second quickest to slow down. We got a guy, he usually makes things harder than it needs to be. It was Mr. Bat out of hell. I come to the end of a tall thing I can't see around. I go to leave, there he is. Beep! Almost cut the guy off. Near miss, no collision. But when we're talking about something that's 20,000 pounds, I don't take stuff like that very lightly at all. So that frazzled me pretty much for the rest of the day. As it stands right now, though, there's people that make fun of me specifically for how I do things on this specific truck. And they better get ready to just keep on making fun of me, because I'm not changing for them.
Stendar was with us in that fight.
All right, let's get rid of her. They're going to keep making fun of me until they either shut up or I get another job. That's really all there is to it. You're talking about something that is heavily safety capped and restricted. There are things you cannot do unless you're on wire. But the important part is that it's 20,000 pounds. Your average car is like $3,000. This thing's $20,000. So I've basically turned into one of those grumpy old guys that's been there for decades, because I am. But lately we've got this, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with this jockey culture we've picked up, where people, they do what's called, I call it fake expertise. They pitch themselves as experts, but the advice that they're giving people is really bad. At the least, it'll make someone terrible at their job. At the most, it could injure or kill somebody. Number one problem. I mean, I've been at this place. First joined that team in 2005. Driving equipment's one of the last things I haven't done for these folks. And the reason why I picked up all these trucks end of 2023. So the reason why I picked up all these trucks, put myself through the ringer, and used most of my sick time in 2024 for mental health issues related to diving headfirst into my work, trying to get up to speed as quickly as I could on all three trucks. The reason why is because the team fell apart. We were down to 3 people for 4 core functions on this MHE team. That's not enough. And then we've spent over a year with people constantly coming and going, some worse than others. But some things never change. Part of that is this Dunning-Kruger thing, where people feel like they're hot. They've somehow earned a right to be a hot shot just because they've been there a certain amount of years and nothing bad has happened. Like they haven't crashed anything or something. That hotshot culture hasn't gone away. Matter of fact, we got a wave of it going on right now. A lot of the folks coming through the door, they're making things unsafe for no reason and stuff they're going to fail at. So a great example would be we're getting folks that are too shy and don't communicate where they're going, and they try and make up for it by zipping around. So let's say you have 2 people in the same warehouse aisle. Person number 1 is there picking. Person number 2, instead of working with them to figure out who's going where, darts out backwards, then flies past them in the adjacent aisle, then tries to fly around and back in behind them, losing as little time as possible. And I'm just going to say, knowing the technology like I do, the trucks are speed capped. You are not gaining anything. So when you drive one of these things full throttle, you're driving at a speed that is set. It's not the max speed of the truck. It's just not. So you don't gain any speed by driving a longer distance to go around somebody. But I'll be damned if I can get any of these people to understand something this simple that are coming through the door right now. So, you got all this going on. You got folks blaring horns, not slowing down, coming out of aisles on 10,000-pound reach trucks with no guidance system. You got folks cowboying trucks every day. If you don't know what that means, when you drive a reach truck and your foot is hanging off the platform, you drive a reach truck and for some reason your foot's hanging off the platform. I know somebody who almost wound up crippled because she was a reach driver at a Walmart distribution center, crushed her foot against something exactly the way the video tells you and why they tell you to keep your feet inside the damn thing. By the time she's telling me the story, she almost wound up permanently crippled, having to walk with a cane the rest of her life. Because the Walmart dragged out the workman's comp for her comp claim. See, one of the problems with workers' comp is it's what's called a no-fault system. If a company doesn't fire somebody who's persistently unsafe, that person could hurt themselves and actually file a claim for it. It's one of the side effects of everything. It's one of the reasons why businesses have safety programs, protect themselves against somebody who abuses the system. Because I can tell you, with some other systems, there are people who come in and the first thing they do, try to abuse everything to get some easy money. There's other stuff too, like there's people that interview for jobs they have no intention of taking to try and catch the interviewer asking an illegal question so they and their lawyer can turn around and sue them. get a settlement instead of a paycheck. There's all kinds of screwy stuff like that out there. The way people work is you gotta have a low opinion of them, because if you can imagine it, they're probably doing it, no matter how messed up it is. Speaking from long experience with that garbage. I don't think a lot of the folks who work at this place, especially the young folks that still are in that invincible stage where they come in fresh out of high school, you know, still rocking that adolescent invincibility, even though my class, we actually had a lot of people. It wasn't my class. It was when I was a freshman. The graduating seniors had like a bunch of people pass away at 18 years old because of things like drunk driving, crashes, parties, getting their stomach pumped, and then they drank too much for them to actually fully recover from it. All kinds of stuff. But I know, besides what happened with the person who almost wound up crippled, I know of things where one bad mistake is all it took to ruin someone's life permanently. I gotta wonder, do we even still have loss prevention people? Because there's just so much camera footage piling up of these people who are like, fire me, I dare ya. That are doing things like driving on reach trucks all the time with no safety glasses on when they lift stuff up. So they're running the risk of getting a wood chip or something in their eye if something falls off a pallet. It only takes one bad mistake. You can either screw yourself or somebody else permanently. You get no do-overs. The instructional videos tell you, do not let yourself get caught between a powered industrial truck and a fixed object. That's the nice way of putting it. There was a story out of Canada from a guy who was doing stupid stuff on a forklift at a lumber yard. 18 years old, was proud to get the job out of high school because it was good paying, would get him into the trades. Yeah. Goes to work, does stupid stuff with the forklift that everybody does, and it goes horribly, horribly wrong for him, and he ends up crushing his spinal cord. Here's a guy, 18 years old, barely out of high school, in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. At least that's what he was told. But either way, he crushed his spinal cord, paralyzed from the waist down, in a wheelchair, needed mechanical aids to use the bathroom. Now, that sounds exactly like what it sounds like, folks. Look up bowel stimulators and what some of the uses of medical catheters for paralysis patients. It's not just because it's the internet doesn't mean everything is funny. Seriously, if you can no longer feel below a certain part of your back, you may need to poke and prod yourself to get yourself to do a number 2. That's what this guy had to do. 18 years old. Used to love dancing, stuck in a wheelchair. All because of one stupid thing he did at work. Now, I followed up on what happened to the guy because it was a safety organization. This is a safety organization in Canada that was tracking these things. And what happened to this guy was the literature says he regained the ability to walk, but I looked into it. He doesn't really have all of this. He's still paralyzed as a result of his accident. The way he found out how to walk is the remaining muscles that he still has control over, he can use to twist his back if he braces his legs so they're like organic stilts. He can twist around and swing his legs around to walk that way. He learned how to balance. He learned how to balance again, and that's the way he walks, and that's the best he's been able to do. All because of one crushed spinal cord. Pallet jack. Smallest truck we have in the whole building. Little blippity thing. 3,000 pounds. I've heard about the guy who ran over his foot. Safety toe shoes wouldn't help against being crushed by thousands of pounds. Has to wear 2 shoe sizes the rest of his life, and he's in chronic pain on the foot that he ran over. So the entire rest of his life, the cost of footwear has doubled for him. And he has to pay for all his meds. When you go to work in an industrial environment, you are working in an industrial environment. So it appalls me, and probably one of my longest running pet peeves in this place is these people who get way too comfortable around heavy equipment. You know, we need to stop calling it just equipment and be honest. It's heavy equipment. And even pallets. Oh, I'm in a warehouse. I'm around pallets all the time. Yeah. Some of the heavy equipment has scales built in. It tells you how heavy what you're picking up is. The stuff you're picking up is. Pallets can range from 500 to 1,000 pounds. If a stack of 2 pallets falls on you, even if it's something light like paper towels, that's a serious injury. Imagine if 500 pounds of paper towels smacked you in the head. 100 of that comes from the pallet. So, we got folks joyriding around. Truth is, this stuff is, these industrial, the equipment we have, they're tools, not toys. It's way too easy to get way too comfortable. And then you're flying around like a bat out of hell. The minute you lose respect for the machinery, you basically have you're a psychopath with a death wish for everyone around you. Sadly, though, we are so hard up for staffing that we're tolerating way too much garbage. And in some cases, people cross the lines in other ways. But they don't get fired for sometimes zero tolerance things. They get fired when they finally show their true colors. And they smash the crap out of something. We had a guy last year, one of the many people who's come and gone. I heard him saying nasty things about women at one point. That was a red flag. He had temper problems, red flag number 2, and we were dumb enough to let him drive a 20,000-pound turret. The guy was throwing red flags left and right. You know, people let you know what they are. Or what they're gonna be working for you. You can't expect people to always make sense. You can't expect people to always be logical. You know? You can, however, see people's nature through the stuff they do when they throw flags like that. But I found out after the fact that not only did this guy have very bad views on women, he had a sexual harassment problem. He was touching female coworkers inappropriately. It wasn't just words with this guy. Should be a zero tolerance thing. Should be fired on the spot for that. But what he was fired on the spot for was smashing the crap out of some racking. So, when I'm getting confronted like, hey, is this really the job for you? You got really worked up because of a near miss that wasn't even a collision. It involved a 20,000-pound piece of metal. That's not something I will ever take lightly. And I'm also not going to take lightly when people get way too used to being around this stuff and they start being flippant about it. We pay lip service to the idea of pedestrian safety, but we've got people who will not pay attention to their surroundings on a very, very regular basis and yap at each other like they're walking through the hallways at school. And again, in this kind of environment, it only takes one bad mistake to screw you up for life. So you always got to take it seriously. So that brings us to our last what if here, because I really have to wonder if we have any loss prevention people left, because the camera footage is piling up and piling up. We have someone refuses to wear safety glasses on reach trucks over and over and over again. You're supposed to wear them when you're lifting stuff over your head, so that way you don't get something in your eye. I don't know. How many wood chips does it take for someone to lose an eye? With the cost of wood due to inflation, we've been doing everything we can to not buy pallets. We've been recycling, running things into the ground, and reusing sketchy pallets as long as we possibly can. Putting them in storage trailers, the works. We have a pallet company that goes through them and tries to weed out the bads. But these folks will do just about anything to not spend money with wood prices. There's a lot of stuff that's getting run into the ground, and it has been showing lately. So you take one of those, it's about to have a big chunk fall off. You put it up 60 feet in the air on a top level. Piece of wood falls off, and unlucky you get nailed right in the eye. Your eye starts bleeding. You lose that eye for the rest of your life. I think that some of the flippant people that are like, I don't care, they don't realize they will lose a lot if they lose an eye. Their job, their career, and probably a lot of happiness in their life. I already know one guy. He didn't get something in his eye, but he lost an eye, and he's gone. Can't have a job hardly anywhere, if anywhere, because he probably can't even drive. Doctor probably won't even clear him to ever get behind the wheel of a car again, because he only has one eye. Can't judge distance. Maybe he could defy his doctor's orders and drive himself around, but as far as industrial jobs go, he has zero chance of getting a job involving heavy equipment ever again. Why? He had a stroke and lost an eye. He lost vision in one eye. Lost his job, his career, wound up on disability, the works. Now that's somebody having a stroke and losing an eye later in life. How much dumber would that be for somebody who's in their 20s that just didn't want to wear safety glasses? I mean, this is basic tech school stuff from my high school years here. You don't want to get something in your eye that means you lose an eye. You know? Cheap safety glasses, ANSI standard, the whole 9 yards. I respect that. I respect that stuff enough that for my own glasses, I insist and pay extra for them to be ANSI shatter resistant and double as safety glasses. So all my main pairs of glasses have been ANSI compliant. If I wanted to, I could go the extra mile and put side shields on them so they would look like I was wearing safety glasses everywhere. But at the very least, the lenses are going to be ANSI. And there's a very specific reason for that. Eye protection is something that I've been drilled in for decades. And it's a really easy thing to forget. But if you're like, I don't want to wear these, it's only going to take one bad mistake to ruin a massive chunk of your life by losing an eye. I was doing some thinking about some of the folks coming in, and all the crap they're bringing with them. Because we're getting people that come in and they mouth off to us. Look at that. They come in, they mouth off to us, give us a master class in how our own building works, and they've only been there for like a day or so. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Shut up. Da-da-da. Yeah? And then they show through their actions that they don't know what they're doing. And I've been thinking for a while, it's like, wow, there must be some pretty sucky warehouses around here with the way these people are. They come in and they think their old job was better, so they behave like they weren't just fired from their last place. Or whatever. I gotta wonder, though, if they were fired or if they're job hopping or if they're doing whatever, what's to say that they were if they won't follow directions with us, what's to say that they were what's to say they weren't, following directions with where they came from too? They'll romanticize it or whatever and be like, oh, don't tell me anything, I know what I'm doing. Well, what's to say they didn't deal with that at the last place they were at? I used to think of these people coming over from other warehouses like, people getting traded in a sports league. But at least the people being traded in a sports league will know how to play the sport. You can't say the same for somebody who say, oh, yeah, hire me, I have forklift experience. Then you find out they just drove a little propane-powered sit-down rider at the hardware store. So, yeah. The whole day was shot to hell, but nobody was injured. But I'm throwing points away performance-wise now, because I am done. We got people that brag about, I'm so amazing with turret, and he sucks. He's screwed up. He's nothing but a perpetual screw-up. Well, for one thing, 5S, part of 5S is standardization, so doing things the same way over and over again, numbers aren't bad. The goal is 100. I'm usually 110. Especially if I'm chaining putaways at the end of the day, because the hand-eye coordination I have from decades of video games really comes in handy. This truck the most out of all of them. So when I'm chaining putaways, I'm practically like when you ever see those like Bastion Solutions self-picking shelves or something. Think like the robots that go up and down and put stuff away and take stuff out of shelves, and some of the robo-shelving units that more high-tech places use. If you don't believe it, look up Bastion Solutions. It's spelled the same way as the old indie game. But they do kind of automation, warehouse automation stuff, including things like essentially robo turrets or goods to person vertical. I'm sure everyone's seen the Kiva robots that Amazon bought, and they just ride around with shelves and bring things to people. But the goods to person can also go vertical, and that's basically kind of what I'm like with a faster version of it anyways. I've seen a lot of automated guided vehicles. People are still faster and get more done than robots. But I'm at the point now where I really have to wonder, with what I've been seeing with this bunch, when are the robots coming? They'll be slow. They'll slow down the remaining people that are still better than the robots. And they'll set a baseline that is completely inflexible for productivity. I've been watching AGVs for decades at this point. The whole time I've been involved in our local supply chain scene out here in these woods, I've been watching the robot technology, and it's always the same story. Organic human eyes are always better than sensors. So you'd think, with all this going on, that people would come in and they'd want to be better than the robots, but I have a very hard time believing that with what I've been seeing for the past year and change. It's the same problems over and over again. Lack of initiative, lack of sense of urgency, and inability to follow directions. Now, once the trainer's back is turned, or once the boss's back is turned, it's all over. It's just ridiculous. There's really not much to these jobs. No. It's we engineer our place to the hilt. The way you do your job is based on standard versus actual. The amount of time the computer gives you to do something, which is very heavily scrutinized, and the actual time you spend doing it. So if you're missing, question is what's outside the process. And we let people document downtime as well for things they can't avoid. But I talk about write a congestion delay, and I'm like the weirdo, because for years now there's been this disinformation floating around that the way it works is you get good enough at your job, you don't have to write delays anymore. That's not how it works. The time you have to do everything is determined by movement. That movement is based on a data set of about 25 years of timing people for how long it takes them, for example, to move their arm, raise their hand, all the little movements involved in getting a task done. That's all factored. And the data set for that contains about 25 to 30 years, like a generation's worth of data on how people do mundane stuff. So it's pretty much the way that I thought it was when I was trying to design this stuff myself as a WMS guy before, all the system people got laid off and I saw the layoffs coming and just went to operations instead. Pretty much runs the way I thought. You get the movements necessary and put some times on those movements and you home in on it. So, if there's a discrepancy, then there's something outside the process, so we got to find out what it is. With our hotshots, they're trying to be fast on trucks that are speed locked. A truck that is speed locked at 5 miles an hour, if you go full throttle, you're going 5 miles an hour. So, when you're not communicating and you're trying to drive around people, the way it would normally go, and what the computer gives you time for, is to drive 5 miles an hour in a straight line. What these people are doing is they're driving 5 miles an hour off to the side, going way too far, then trying to come back, and then trying to back up, all while trying to be fast the whole way through and risking smashing into something. And they're getting nothing for it but lower numbers. So they're getting absolutely nothing for it but lower numbers because the trucks are speed locked. So if you go 5 miles an hour forward, 2 miles an hour up and down, the system assumes that you're going 5 miles an hour forward and 2 miles an hour up at the same time in a straight line. This trigonometry type stuff like we learned in high school. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So one of the things that murders you, numbers-wise, is when you drive to a place and you're like, elevator up. I mean, we can do it right now. Look at me in the corner. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. See what I mean? It's a Pythagorean theorem, that thing I mispronounced back in middle school. I was dumb and called it the Pythagorean theorem. One side squared plus the other side squared equals the hypotenuse squared? Or was it times? I don't know. Wikipedia Pythagorean theorem. Triangle math. Solving for the hypotenuse. One of those weird things in school that I didn't think I'd have use for when I grew up. Well, now I do. That's what we're running into. There's really not much of these jobs. We just have some people that are spoiled. And I just gotta wonder, do we still even have any loss prevention people left if the camera footage is piling up of hotshots cowboying their trucks every single day? People driving under raised stuff. Well, I don't think we have cameras there, but I seriously gotta wonder. The safety glasses thing, we should have mountains of footage of at this point. Especially when it's the same people doing it over and over again. Like, why are they still here? Truth is, we don't really have a team. We have a bunch of people that we're putting up with just to keep orders going out the door. Last week was atrocious. We were swamped in LTL freight. For those of you that don't know your truckeries, less than trailer load. The small stuff. Turret handles the small stuff that won't go out by the full pallet. We needed a second, sometimes even a third person on that. Why drive time? So, I mean, the process is you go out with something and you come back with an empty pallet. So that way your forks are empty for the minimal amount of time possible. We get hotshots like, well, I'm going to save drive time, take 2 or 3 at once, and then they run a greater risk of misslotting something, or they make a mess, because what do you do if there's 3 wood pallets now? How do you add them into your stack? And it just gets too complicated too quickly. All in the name of saving some drive time. I think it adds diminishing returns. I think it really adds diminishing returns. Plus, I mean, if I can hit 110s with one thing at a time, then I don't think people realize just how long I've been around and how much I know this stuff. Because I've worked with nearly all the engineers we've ever had in the building, going back to 2004. They were the ones that introduced me to this. There's like 3 sets of numbers that are important for managing labor. Performance, utilization, total performance. Performance is what you can fix. Utilization is what you cannot. Utilization, the percentage of the time spent doing what you were hired for versus total time. Your breaks and lunches will bring that down a fixed amount every day. The rest is your downtime, which you cannot fix. You're responsible for performance. The supervisor can come after you if your utilization drops because you have too many delays. Or maybe they can't. Who knows? If you're at 100% but your utilization sucks. Imagine if there's like a layoff decision to be made and we have 2 people, similar performance, but one person's playing the system and their utilization's lower because you cannot fix that. And then total performance is performance times utilization. So the easiest way for me to demonstrate that number, we had an idiot once upon a time in my WMS days. He came in. I can't remember. I think Pokemon Go. Yeah, that was 2015, right? We had an idiot come in one time when I was a WMS guy. He sat on his ass in the bathroom in a stall playing Pokemon or something on his phone, or noodling around on his phone for like 20 minutes. And then he raced out to the production lines and he tried to pick at like 150%. He was fired for accuracy. He mispicked and sent like a bazillion wrong items. Needless to say, as long as I get the work done, who cares how I do it? Yeah, he lasted all of 2 weeks. But that's what total performance is. You have 2 people that do things similarly, but one person stays on task more. Who's more valuable in terms of throughput? Who's more valuable in terms of units in plus units out divided by the number of labor hours? Or whatever the ins and outs are we're measuring by these days.
Wait. This isn't right.
Yeah, I guess I've turned my paladin guy into Forrest Gump with all this running around. No. So my prior background in all this system stuff and data stuff influences how I do things. And the stuff I get ticked off about, and the stuff I don't get ticked off about. I wasn't going around dropping F-bombs at 2:30 in the afternoon cussing like a sailor, because we had one person out on the receiving side. And how many people did we have out? How many people did we have out today on the production side? The cat wants to go out. Hi, Shadow. Meow. She making it into the stream? Oh, she's on the nose with her times. So we had one person scheduled, call off, and new guy, MIA. Don't know whatever happened to him. We never saw him, though. Not that he was doing much anyways. Latest elevator master that won't drive in a straight line. We've been seeing this long enough. It's really a matter of somebody comes in, they get on the board at like 60% or whatever. Do they want to progress? That's the thing. Because I can tell you right now, what no business needs is people that have to be babysat. The whole point of hiring help yeah, my guy's gonna get killed because of this frickin' cat. Spamming holy bolts isn't exactly the right idea. Hearing 2 sets of meows now. No, you're not going out. You're swatting at me, jackass. She's like, don't pet me. If she jumps up and starts taking swings at me, I'm just gonna go to a be right back screen. She's mad because I'm not letting her go hunt mice yet. Just cats and being cats in their routines. Yeah. We were down a couple of people, but I don't think we really have a team. I think we have just a bunch of people we're putting up with to keep things going out the door. Years of record low unemployment and the Great Resignation definitely have taken their toll. And who are they going to get that's any better? We're dropping standards just to say we made progress. When I first came back to this building several years ago, you were not considered fully trained. You were not considered fully trained on something until at least you got 100% 2 weeks in a row. I don't think we do that anymore. I know this. The very last reach function that I started from scratch on, I was never given the opportunity to get to 100%. I got stuck in the 80s. And I don't even know how the heck to progress any further. I just put stuff in, and I do what the mod clerk tells me to do. I am out of ideas. I've been out of ideas for months. Nobody can give me any answers either, which is a major red flag. Because if you can't tell me how the standards work and what is included in them so I can copy it and do what I'm supposed to do, you can't tell me how to... You literally cannot tell me how to do my job. There's a lot of people, too, that insert their personal opinions into objective standards. Like, they try and get people to do extra steps, and we wonder why jobs are... It's so hard to make rate. Yeah, because you're doing extra steps that are not included in the process. That's the whole point of this crap. But I mean, I can tell you that currently the war on expertise, where we don't like scientists, we don't like teachers, we don't like anybody who had to put in the work to know what the hell they're talking about. This whole hatred of expertise began long before the Trump era. This is an example of it. So. Are you done misbehaving? You do not take swings at me. Ever. Are we clear, cat? I'm not a frickin' mouse. Save the claws for the mice. And the other critters that she goes out hunting every night. I'll just give it like 10 minutes. She'll be like, screw this, and she'll go back to sleep. And I won't be able to get her out of bed. Just cat logic as usual. The way it's supposed to work is cats are supposed to be most active at sunrise and sunset, and it's a little after 8 o'clock. So this one is more straight up nocturnal. She sleeps all day and wants to go hunting at night, which is why she's meowing at me. Yeah, we'll do that. I gotta get to sleep anyways. There was one extremely important thing, though, that happened today that is massive. And it just tells me a lot about how corporate does a miserable job training these managers. I don't know how many of you people are familiar with the term constructive termination. It refers to when somebody can quit and collect unemployment because the job, they can prove to the adjudicator, whether it's a judge or whoever, at the labor hearing for the unemployment benefits, that the job would be considered undoable
Set it ablaze!
by a reasonable person. So when you have a bad boss who rides your ass to try and get you to quit, that's what that is. This is the sort of thing you get lawyers involved with. But at minimum, you're talking about somebody quitting a job and still collecting unemployment because they can prove that a reasonable person would have done the same thing. One of the things you do not do when you're in charge of a business, ever, you never, ever say anything that could be construed as, I want you to quit your job. You never say that to a subordinate. Never. That is absolutely taboo. Today, I met my second manager that has done that. I say second because the last time I ran into somebody crossing this line, it was the catalyst to me getting out of that building. He lost his cool, blew up in my face right in time for Christmas 2017. I've found out since then that you never, ever, ever as a manager tell your subordinates this. Ever. Because anything that could sound like an admission of guilt or I want you gone can also be construed as I'm going to do whatever it takes to make you quit or fire you. There's already been one job that I didn't take because the lunkhead that I was interviewing with threw a red flag for this at the interview. He was like, yeah, I'm going to bust your ass and see if you quit. You don't do that. It opens you up. It opens the company up to legal problems. How do you know that? Formal business background, including business law. That's why I pay attention to stuff like workman's comp being a no-fault system. And the reason why safety programs exist is to protect the company from people that would injure themselves on purpose to collect a settlement instead of having to work for a paycheck. Although the caps in states, depending on what you lose, are kind of deterring from people doing that, but some people are nuts. So I follow these sorts of things. Labor relations, all kinds of other stuff. Stuff HR people throw around is also how I know about mobbing. Because somebody wanting to get another job. Somebody who thinks their boss is out to get them. The term I've used thrown around by people that don't know what they're talking about is hostile work environment. That actually means that something discriminatory might have happened. Requires protected characteristic. But in the literature I was just reading earlier this evening, it's not just hostile work environments that can be used to justify a constructive discharge. It's also abusive work environment. If you're getting screamed at every day, things like that, a reasonable person would just go running out the door. And I'm reading this and I'm thinking to myself, that's why we have things like broad workplace violence policies that don't just cover, like, if someone threatens you at work or they actually throw a punch at you or something. It's not just that. The one I work with, maybe someday I'll see it enforced, is anything that could potentially damage your mental state, your mental health, counts as that. That's actually very scientific and science-based. Because we know, any of you follow any kind of psychology, you probably know there's two parts of the brain responsible for processing new memories, the amygdala and the hippocampus. And unremitting stress can actually shrink the hippocampus and damage it. So it is literally possible to drive someone crazy. That is actually, it's literally possible to drive someone crazy by just racking up their emotions.
Maybe the restrictions in Mournhold will ease now that the temple is safe again.
It's interesting because I was reading about lawyers going after, intentional infliction of emotional distress. One of the things that's necessary for that is some kind of reckless behavior that causes the thing. And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. I want to talk to some lawyers, though, deal with this stuff every day about this rather than sit around speculating. Because I don't hate expertise, unlike so many people these days. Really, you got to seriously think. You have to very seriously think about this expertise thing. What about the people, and I've met some of them around here, who think that you can YouTube your way out of having to learn everything? It's crazy because, I see people, they're like, oh, look this up on YouTube. You don't have to learn how to do anything. Yeah, look up on YouTube how to rewire the electrical wiring in your house. Yeah, and then their house burns down because they don't have the training or the formal background. Or, more importantly, the insurance. Really makes you wonder just how bad things are going to get. With people think, look, television didn't replace education. Why on earth do we think, unless we're dumb compared to how we were 50 years ago, why television didn't replace formal education? Why on earth do we think social media can replace it? Television didn't replace it. YouTube certainly didn't. Certainly won't. There's no accountability. There's no reputation to defend, no endowment that's going to go broke if a college, for example, sucks at what they do. Organizations are supposed to, have accountability and stuff like that. Otherwise, there's nobody to pull the reins. There's nobody to vet the information, and who knows what'll happen. Something I've seen on the religious side of things with televangelists, where they don't have anybody over them to keep them in check, to not teach the wrong stuff or not, screw up with, their doctrine or something. And so you end up with situations where some TV preacher has a big, large ministry with their name on it or something close to that, or an org structure with them at the top. They're basically the pope of their business. And nobody can hold them in check. They can say all kinds of stuff. The only accountability they have is to the people who watch their show and send in the money. I'm thinking there's got to be secular versions of that. I don't think the world of dogma is where the only place where we see stuff like that. And, of course, we see our problems with disinformation today. People don't have any idea how to spot when they're being given bad advice, and they fall hook, line, and sinker for it. Same thing I'm running into. I mean, I've caught multiple guys at this place trying to give me bad job advice. They really, would make themselves look better at their job by making me worse. Not a smart idea. I also know that there's at least one instance where the language barrier with the folks that speak Spanish is in play for that. I should learn some more Spanish. Maybe start seeing if I can start understanding some of the things these folks tell each other, and see who's playing trick the new guy with their coworkers. Hey, Shadow. she's not coming over. She's just mad because I didn't let her out at 8 o'clock sharp. Hashtag cat logic. Well, actually what happened was I was going to have her out before I started stream, but she just would not budge. Now she's up from her nap and wants to go hunt mice all night. Well. How much stuff did we get? So I got to figure out what to do about this now second situation where somebody told me I should find another job. There are certain lines you don't cross when you're in charge of stuff. And here we go again. Don't know who these people think they're going to get. Well, let's go down the list. I mean, who exactly am I working with here? And we have a smaller version of this on the receiving side of things. So I have one guy fantasizing about, we got a larger warehouse opening up in a year or two, fantasizing about going there, going to a larger company where there's more going on. Let's see. We have the two women on the team who have been getting sweetheart deals for way too long.
Oh, the clitter-clatter of unwanted things.
Will they stick around? Who knows?
I often trade in handcrafted.
But so long as they don't have to do the whole job, as long as they don't have to do the whole job, though, they don't add as much value as the people that are actually willing to learn everything. And do it on a regular basis. So, sweetheart deals don't work out in the long run. We've had enough problems with people that don't have to do their whole jobs, or they have an easier version of the job. For whatever reason. The reasons vary. Like, fear of loss leads to more loss. You can't be so afraid of not having a team that you basically don't have a team. So, all right, we do have one guy. We passed him around.
See, your path takes you.
We passed him around. He's done everything. We passed him around, and he's done everything. But he still screws up extremely rudimentary parts of everything he does. So, I don't think we're doing him a favor either by playing the desperation card and just looking the other way on the rather rudimentary things that he's still screwing up. He also has less experience than everybody else. That's part of it. But what exactly do we need? What exactly do we need? And how are we going to get there? That's actually three questions businesses ask is, where are we now, where do we want to go, and how do we want to get there? Classic. Where are we now? Where do we want to go? How are we going to get there? Let's see, we had someone else come in. Same thing, just been there less. Still screwing up really rudimentary things. Guy doesn't want to hear it from anybody. So, we'll see what he does. Another guy doesn't understand that the speed cap thing. Tried telling him. We'll see if it sticks. And then there was the rookie that was completely missing today. See, how are we doing on the other end of things? Last week we had a guy who was crushing stuff when running it off the receiving dock. Putting heavy stuff on top of light stuff, causing probably at least hundreds of dollars worth in product damage. Probably higher. Constantly making people do extra work because he was putting stuff in the wrong place. It just wasn't clicking. I give people the benefit of the doubt because I believe in something called Hanlon's razor. Look that up on Wikipedia. It means do not assume malice when something can be explained by incompetence. New people are new. They're going to do rookie mistakes. See, what did I have today? I had an entire SKU dropped off in the wrong aisle. We've dropped off individual things before, but we've never dropped off several pallets of the same damn SKU. We had stuff double stacked. License plate number 1 was facing me. License plate number 2 was on the other side. But the system told me that they scanned it off the receiving dock somehow and stacked it that way. Usually when someone doesn't scan the one on top, I, scan it and it says, "Hey, you want to run this off the dock?" Sure. Now where's it going? Yeah, I mean, do your job right the first time. I'm not a big fan of making up for people. I'm not a big fan of making up for people not following the process. There's a lot you gain from doing your job right the first time. Same thing with the people in training. Same thing to the people that are blowing off how they were trained, and they're trying to skip rungs on the ladder, which is a big problem we have right now. So what's going to happen is they're going to get to 100%. They're going to look better at the job than they actually are. Oh, that's right. I have the fireplace upstairs. They're going to look better at the job than they actually are. Now they have bad habits to unlearn, and they're under the gun because they fell behind in the progression curve for getting good at their job. So, I mean, how do you want to do this? If you want to assuming you want to amount to something, you know what? I could put the skin grad doorways on here and make a nice cozy fireplace room. But assuming you want to amount to something, how do you want to get up to 100% at a job? Do you want to get up to it by learning it the right way, being disciplined about it, and getting it down to muscle memory? Or do you want to scrape and twist and try to skip rungs in the ladder and have bad habits to unlearn later? Yeah. We engineer and SOP the living daylights out of the place specifically to avoid that second situation. But I seem to be the only person left in the building who even cares about this stuff. Well, I've already benefited from it. When I was learning less than case selection, I got stuck in the 80s. When I was learning less than case selection, I got stuck in the 80s, and nothing was helping. So, give me the SOP that nobody reads. So, I did get the SOP that nobody reads, and found out 2 very important things that I wasn't doing. That fixed it. All I had to do was read the effing directions. Because we don't train based on it. People are training based on how they do things. Major problem. If we have a formal procedure, you got to give everyone the same starting point by training specifically that. God, how many times did I see this as a WMS guy with people getting subjective with training? Well, the way I train it is I do this. Congratulations, you set your students up to fail. Lovely. Because you train them your bad habits, and then they're not as good, so you don't realize you're good because you find a way to make up for your bad habits. You're training somebody who doesn't have any idea what they're doing. They don't have the speed. All they're going to have is your bad habits. Of course they're going to fail. Badly. It's ridiculous. That's the way the cycle goes. That's right. Magic carpet helps with that. Uniballer. I haven't seen him online in years. Guess some people are coming back to ESO. Yeah. So that's why I had to kind of chill and listen to music for a bit and just goof around in ESO tonight. It's a step up from days like today, where I would come home and I would just stare blankly at the screen and not do anything constructive at all. You know, no matter how good Skingrad Castle gets, I think this one's going to be my main base of operations still. It's going to have a character's main home. There we go. I just like it. Fits with my character's paladin theme so much better. And it looks more like a proper stone castle instead of having wood everywhere. I mean, there's a wooden ceiling there, but it just seems like Skingrad is just so much more flammable. So someone showing up with siege stuff could probably set it on fire a lot easier. No. When I think about it, what happened today was I got in trouble for reporting the incident. I got people telling me, maybe this job's not for you. You're getting too worked up because I reported an incident. Which, if you don't, automatic final warning. And if you don't, as someone who's just here through the agencies, you're instantly fired. So I followed the process, and my whole day was way more stressful than it needed to be, as a result of me owning up to my mistakes. And we wonder why so many people are talking about how merit doesn't matter anymore. So yeah, I figured come home, do like a test of AV1 and coding, see how well that works. What's available here for tonight? Hey! It probably took like half the stream, but I think the sunflower picture went through. Who is doing stuff? Ooh. This looks interesting. Oh, we won't raid the Beverly Hillbillies for a change. Alright. So here's what's next. I'm almost done. Millipede is the last Atari game for me to get. So that'll be the end of the Atari thing. We'll make a video to finish everything up when that happens. Alright, let's get some sleep. Get this cat to shut up as well. But she has shut up. She's probably sleeping on the bed again. Till next time, this is Multimedia J, signing off. Thanks for stopping by.